kind of short-armed it a little bit and was trying very, very hard to keep it in play. He knew how important it was to keep it in there.
And Charlie Wade, you look at him and just his expressions, what can you do? Carroll, good swing, wonderful dig in the back row. And Hunt off the block, opportunity for the Beach. Setting it up, back row swing for Crabb off the hands of Carroll. Point Long Beach State, and it is now match point for the 49ers.
Interesting how Long Beach State has not gone to Crabb a lot tonight. He's normally their go-to guy. He's gotten 22 sets so far, only 7 kills. He's hitting $182, not his normal night. But how about the way that Srdjan Nadazdin has come up big with his 11 kills, hitting 250. And Ryan Meehan hitting 500 out of the middle. And their other middle hitting 455, Jeff Orne.
And the sophomore from Punahou on match point for the 49ers. Lofi pops it up. Hunt off the block and out. It's 21 serving 24. So second match point opportunity coming up for the Beach. J.P. Marks checks back into the game. And Marks will drop back to serve.
Let's see who's going to set here. I guess they're just going for Marks to serve, hoping he can run off some points just off his serve alone, maybe an ace or two.
And how aggressive?
They basically have no setters right now on the court, none.
I was going to say, and how aggressive can you afford to be with your serve when it's match point? Answer, pretty aggressive, good serve. And swinging for the match and putting it down for the kill is Hemmerling. And Hemmerling with his 7th kill of the night. And that takes care of business as Long Beach State takes the 3rd set and they take the match in 3 straight. Well, I think a lot of people came in here maybe expecting to see an inspired Hawaii team. And not to say that they weren't inspired and not to say that Hawaii didn't play hard, but they just couldn't come up with the big swings and the points when they needed them.
I would agree, and they really, especially at that outside hitter position, Rooksador and J.P. Marks really struggled tonight. You really got to have that other outside hitter position opposite Steve Hunt to take some heat off of him. They've got to have a decent night pretty much every night. The middles were battling hard all night, but the passing wasn't quite good enough to set them enough. And finally, you got to give some credit to Long Beach State. You know, they played pretty well. They hit 326 on the night. That's over their season average. That's a good number. And they had several players come up big other than their superstar, Taylor Crabb.
Now let's take a look at our Bank of Hawaii players of the match. For Long Beach State, Ryan Meehan. 8 kills, hit 500 on the night, or his kill percentage, 6 blocks. And for Hawaii, you got to give credit to the opposite. Harrison Carroll, he came in, 12 kills. He played a pretty good match for Hawaii.
Yeah, I would agree. He had a nice match, and probably it was his biggest match of his career, actually. Hitting 400, it's tough to do against a good defense like Long Beach State.
So, in 3 straight Hawaii goes down, Charlie Wade standing by with our Dan Devone.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Well, Coach, I saw you headed to the locker room, but let's talk about it. I mean, with so much on the line, it's a tough loss. Your thoughts on what went wrong tonight?
Well, I mean, it's hauntingly familiar for us. You know, we got guys that are just absolutely playing their colas off. And if you watch this team train during the week, you'd be really proud of them. And they work hard. We just don't get 25 enough, you know. And I really appreciate the crowd that came out tonight. A lot of volleyball people throughout the state that I recognize here. And it's and we got guys that are working hard. We're just not scoring enough points to win games. And in our league, it's, you know, some of our weaknesses get exposed every night. So, you know, like I said, hauntingly familiar, and proud of the guys for working hard, and really appreciate the volleyball people coming out and supporting us.
Talk about tomorrow night really quick, and of course it's senior night. What does that mean for you and the team?
Well, senior night here is really special, you know, so, you know, there's no doubt there'll be another crowd out here to support these guys. And again, you know, the wins haven't come as much as we would like this year, but you really got to be proud of these guys working hard and representing the university and the whole state. That's something that we take a lot of pride in.
Coach, thank you for the time, and good luck tomorrow night.
Aloha, thank you.
All right. Howard, it's back over to you.
Dan, thank you very much. Very classy Charlie Wade. Our thanks to him for spending a little bit of time with us. Chris, a final thought as you look forward now to tomorrow. You're Charlie Wade, you're going into that locker room. Now what do you say to your troops?
I think he's got to say that he's proud of the way the guys fought, just like he told Dan Devone just then. He's proud of the way they fought. They work hard all week, and somehow, hauntingly, as he said, they have one position or another just doesn't show up, and they really need this team after they lost Umlauf last year. They've got to have a lot of guys step up every night, and only they just don't have enough guys step up every night, and Stephen Hunt can't carry this team on his shoulders.
No, he can't. And as Charlie also alluded to, tomorrow is one of those wonderful nights in every sport, but no sport maybe does it better than volleyball. Senior night, it's always a great moment. We look forward to being back here.
Should be a good one tomorrow night.
All right, I'll be here. You'll be here too, Chris. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, everybody. Stick around. Much more to come with Dan Devone and the guys. The post-game show coming up next. You've been watching University of Hawaii Warrior Volleyball on OC Sports.
Brooke Sidor getting a kiss from the Antes as the University of Hawaii gets swept tonight by the 49ers from Long Beach State as they lose in 3 straight. We are joined once again by Tony Chang, and our guest tonight is Troy Crutchfield, the senior who will leave us tomorrow night. But first things first, let's talk about what happened this evening after the tough road trip. Are you a little bit surprised that the team didn't respond a little bit better tonight?
Yeah, a little bit. We put a lot of preparation into this match, and we know that the end of our season kind of rests on these last 4 matches. So we thought we were going to do a lot better tonight. We did all we could before the match, and I think we were just outplayed a little bit tonight. But we'll go back home tonight and rethink it and come out ready to fight again tomorrow night.
You know, one thing I noticed when being in practice with you guys is that when you're in the gym, the practice gym, you guys practice really hard. You're really competitive and you're really loud. What do you think is the difference? I don't see it as much as I see in the practice gym when you guys get into the arena.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's just a matter of the guys really trying to focus up a little bit too much, I think, and sometimes you just need to free up and get after it. You know, we're all here to have fun, and I think sometimes we forget that, you know. It's hard being young and coming out here in a crowd like this and having to compete, so I think, yeah, it's just really tough.
All right, so enough about tonight. What was your memorable moments about the season? Give us some funny stories.
Every game in here is good, man. I mean, getting to play against my pops and a bunch of my old friends that are walking by right now, and I mean, just the atmosphere out here in the stand and in Hawaii day to day, it doesn't get better.
Yeah, you enjoy yourself out here?
Doesn't get any better, hell yeah.
How strange is that for you?
Excuse me.
For the fans at home that you're referring to, of course, is your father is a coach for Long Beach State.
Here he is, right behind us. There he is.
And how bizarre was it for you to play against Pops?
It wasn't too bizarre. We went back to Long Beach and took 2 wins in the pyramid last year, so it is kind of weird shaking his hand at the end of the night, but now we can go home, and after a 2-year career here, we can say we're even against each other, 2-2. So
yeah, give us a little insight over dinner. Who's talking the most trash?
Oh man, my dad was lighting me up right when I got in the gym tonight about my serving and everything. So definitely gonna be a little trash talking, but it's all love in the Crutchfield family, that's for sure.
That's good. That's
Troy
good,
Crutchfield tomorrow night. Of course, we'll say hello. This is one of the more colorful guys, by the way. If you ever watch the team play, keep an eye on the sidelines. He's always yapping. He's the most animated player going.
This is what we need on the court right here.
Yeah, all right. We'll keep an eye on you tomorrow night. All right, we're going to continue. Sean Carney will be back in the saddles. We'll talk about what happened tonight and wrap things up as we continue here on OC Sports. You're watching the Postgame Show, and back after this. There are the numbers as the University of Hawaii is swept tonight by Long Beach State. As Long Beach State came out of the blocks and just took care of Hawaii, well, rather easily, as they weren't very competitive. As we welcome you back to the Postgame Show. Dan Avone alongside Sean Carney and Tony Ching. One of the bright spots early on was Jared Lofi, who was providing some blocks and some fire in the middle as we have a look at some of the Lofi highlights.
Yeah, Lofi's, he's always been a solid attacker out of the middle. He never gets blocked too often, and he's always up on every play, and that's what you want out of your middle blocker.
He's not the most athletic player on the court, but he gets the job done, and tonight he had a good night. I'm really sad they went away from him towards the third game. I expected them to keep setting. He was being productive in the early game.
I know a guy that you guys are both really big on, and that's Harrison Carroll. He gets the start tonight at the opposite, and Carroll played well despite the loss.
He is. I've been big on him from the beginning. I like this kid. He's got a lot of good volleyball skills. He's not the biggest player, but he's got the technique and the skills, and I love his attitude. I know earlier in the season he was a little down because he wanted more PT, and as he's gotten more playing time, he's definitely stepped up and showed and produced.
Yeah, and something special about him, he's an all-around volleyball player like we talked about. He does things, he got digs tonight, touches on blocks, and served really consistently behind the service line. You know, putting up 12 kills, hitting 400. That's what they were looking for out of an opposite, and I think, Carroll stepped in and, in front of all the home fans, did a really good job.
What's the tagline you have for him? If he was a couple of inches taller, guy would be playing for the national team?
Yeah, that kid is legit. I like his skills. I love his attitude, and I can relate. If he was a little taller, he would be there. He's got that kind of game on him, and he's got a really good arm swing. But unfortunately, he works with what he has. So,
Long Beach State was a team that came in here with Crab and company, and they, as much as we talk about what went wrong with the University of Hawaii, you've got to tip your cap to a Long Beach State team that was. You talk about Hawaii having to play for their lives. Long Beach State is a team that is in the number 7 seed and has a good chance of going to the playoffs, but they were playing as though, their playoffs were hanging in the balance this evening. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially Srdjan. He was pretty much one of the most offensive players on their team. They were yelling Surge from the bench. He had 11 kills, hitting 250, and he was all over it too. A big man, but getting a lot of blocks in the front row, deadly from behind the service line, and once again, putting the ball down when he needed to. So really solid player, good effort from him tonight, and that's what kind of separated UH and Long Beach State towards the end of the game.
And Long Beach in the middle tonight, they were unstoppable. Hawaii's middles, I was talking to Lofi and Nick, and I wanted them to stay home more, but they were kind of cheating to the outside a little bit, and then opened up Meehan in the middle. Here you see him crushing the ball. And he was just a monster in the middle all night, unstoppable. And Hawaii in general really didn't block too much. I think they had 3 or 4 blocks in the whole match, which is not going to get a win for a team, especially in a game that's based on momentum. And if they can just keep siding out, it's going to be tough to lose or tough to win.
All right, you know what the music means. We're going to a break. But don't move anybody. We're going to continue the Sean Carney and Tony Ching Show. All right, we'll be back on OC Sports. They're clearing out, but we're not going anywhere. Back after this. Final numbers on this evening, and that 179, tough to hit below the Mendoza line and expect to do much, guys.
That's tough. It says it all. Those 2 highlighted stats. Hawaii with only 3 blocks, hitting 179. Long Beach, a phenomenal 326 as a team, and outblocking Hawaii 3-1. That's going to get the job done. Passing on both sides was pretty consistent, and service up and down, but nothing stellar. Those numbers say it all.
Yeah, I think these teams are very equal. You know, I think that's all it really is right there. A couple points on a couple blocks, and next thing you know, Hawaii has the victory tonight.
Yeah, maybe a little bit momentum shift. Hawaii needs to steady it out a little.
And the all-important MPSF standings, as you have a look at Irvine, BYU, USC at the top, and UCLA, Stanford, Pepperdine, Long Beach stayed there now at the number 7 spot. So, was this it, you think, for the University of Hawaii and trying to get into the 8 spot after the loss tonight? Is that pretty much lights out on the channel?
I'm not sure about what the actual, what's going to happen, but I think that they really did need this game. They had to win pretty much all 4 games in order to get into playoffs. They might, never know. San Diego wins, beats somebody. You never know what's going to happen until the season's over. But I think that this might have been the nail in the coffin for the season.
Yeah, barring a miracle, it's looking gloom. Yeah.
Final thoughts, guys, as we head in, of course, to senior night. And regardless of the record, and regardless if you're not going to the playoffs, you get amped for a Saturday night and the last go-around for the seniors, right?
Yeah, and I really hope the fans show up for this one, because it means a lot to the players for the rest of their life, not just for tomorrow night's game, which they hopefully will win, but just for the rest of their life. This is a memory that they'll cherish.
Yeah, I still remember senior night, and I know we put in a lot of time when we were playing and invested a lot of time. Regardless of our record, we woke up every day to practice. We went in school. A lot of these kids, they deserve the best, and I would love for the Hawaii fans to show up and support them tomorrow night.
Trying to crank up a little Brother Is tomorrow night and say goodbye to Stephen Hunt and company. That'll do it for us. For Tony Ching, Sean Carney, Chris McLaughlin, and of course Howard Deshevsky, this is Dan Avone reminding you to join us once again tomorrow night. Same time, 6:30 to the pregame show. We'll have Dave Shoji in the house. We'll talk to him, and then, of course, we'll get ready for volleyball as they wrap up the regular season home schedule once again against Long Beach State, as we say goodbye to Stephen Hunt, Mr. Crutchfield, Jared Lofi, and Nick Costello. Until then, this is Dan Avone saying, hope you enjoyed it. So long, everybody.